Hi there kit fans, it's Louise with you today. Welcome along, and it is a 9x12 share today. I am loving my 9x12 layouts at the moment, so I hope that I've inspired you to have a little bit of a play around with this size. I am going to scrap these two photos today. And the reason I chose these photos was because they are of my boys going off on their first school camp. And I thought with the travel sort of theme of the the chipboard sheet, that this would be a kind of a fun way to use up some of those embellishments. So as you can see, I have firstly pulled out the bus chipboard. That was kind of the inspiration. I wanted to utilize some of these travel pieces, and I didn't start with a grid layout in mind, but I'm really happy with the way this grid turned out. It's something that I haven't done for a little while, but it was really fun, and I apologize in advance. I did lose a little bit of the video for this. I thought I had pressed record, but apparently I had not. But basically all you'll miss is a little bit of layering in the background. So I'm simply going to pull out some additional papers from my stash, mainly in a black and white, just to give a bit of dimension and area of interest between those images and the background that we're working on. So you can see these papers are scrap from my scrap paper pile, which I will tell you I store by color. So I get one of those Filofax sort of things, and I store the offcuts, all the scrap papers, by color. So as you can see, I have gone around all of those elements and I've ruffled up the edges a little bit, folded them back. I have added some color behind. I've added the title camp, which are the alpha stickers that came in the December 2023 kit. So you should hopefully have those close by if you're looking to scrap lift this particular design. But it's at this point now, I'm happy with my grid design, that I need to add something in my background. And you can see tapping the fingers is me thinking about what I want to do. How much mixed media do I want to get going? How in depth, what sort of detail do I want to add? I know I want to work with that sort of teal color a little bit. I haven't prepped this background page, so I haven't added any gessos or anything. I'm just going to paint my watercolor straight onto it. And I decide, as you can see, I've drawn that border. So I've pulled out my stitching as well, and I'm going to add some stitching. But I want a distinction. So I want something to separate my background paper with my border and my stitching. So this is where the watercolor comes in, and you can see that this sort of just ties the whole layout together and brings it into itself. It's not a perfect match in terms of color, but I do really like when you get the stitching over the top and how that brings it all together. Now I'm going to do that off camera, so I like to use the chain stitch. If you're not familiar with a chain stitch, I would suggest going to YouTube and finding a video on someone instructing you on chain stitch, because I certainly couldn't instruct you. I can do a chain stitch. It's not the prettiest, but there'll be many more people fully qualified on YouTube to instruct you on how to do that chain stitch. So I use a little tool, and I poke some holes in my border around the outside, and then off camera I'm going to stitch all that and then show you how it comes together. So there's my addition of my chain stitch. You can see in that sort of apricot kind of color, the same as that background, and this is looking great. I love this. I think it's fantastic. I'm simply going to, as you can see, I've added my journaling, and I'm going to pull a couple of stickers and little bits and pieces from my stash to finish this layout. I love how this came together. I hope that you've enjoyed that little grid style with a pop of stitching and some layering. Super fun to put together. I really enjoyed that. So thank you for watching.